Hi class, to continue on part 2 of section 1.8. So looking here, our garden is 12 foot by 4 foot. It has a walkway that is 1 foot around on each side. We need to find the amount of fencing. Whenever we see this is getting at, we need to find the perimeter. Amount of fencing needed to surround the walkway. So we're going to look here. We're trying to figure out what is this perimeter of this larger rectangle here. So what we have to do first is we got to find these two measurements. So what we need to do is look, okay, first the garden is 12 feet, but now notice on both sides of it has 1 foot on the left side. It also has 1 extra foot on the right side, which means our length here is going to be 14 feet. Right, if we use that same logic going this way, right, we have 1 foot at the top, 1 foot on the bottom there. So we're adding 2 feet to our already 4 feet. So our width is now 6 feet. So now if I'm trying to find the perimeter of this new figure, it's going to be 14 plus 14 plus 6 plus 6 for an answer of 40 feet. Looking here, we have a figure that's made up of groups of different types of figures that we know. Right? We don't have the area formula for this figure that looks like a staircase. Right? What we have to do is we have to do this, the area addition postulate. We're going to break this figure up into separate pieces that we know how to find the area of. And so I'll come back to this slide in a sec. Right, so we're looking here, notice we can break this apart, break this part apart right here, and we now have 3 squares, right? We know how to find the area of squares, we just gotta make sure we know what the measurements are. So if we look here, for every 1 dash, that means it's 4 inches. So wherever there's a 1 little dash line, I'm gonna put a 4. And wherever there's a 2 dashes, I'm gonna put a 12. So to start here, we look at this first one. I'm going to shade this one in blue. That square right there is a 4 by 4 square. So finding the area, we multiply length times width, and we get 16 inches squared. So we'll come back to that answer in a second. I'm now going to shade in this bottom square down here. Again, this is a 4 by 4 square, which again gives us 16 inches squared. Again, we'll come back to that answer. So now to look at our middle one right here. If we look here, what we have to notice is that 12 inches is this whole entire line. And so if we already know that across from here is 4 inches, that means this section is 4 inches as well, which leaves this section right here to be only 8 inches long. And now we can use that same idea down on the bottom here, right? This whole thing is 12. We already used 4 inches of it, so that means this part is only 8 inches as well. So now if we look here, we have an 8 by 8 square. So we multiply those two together, find that to be 64 inches squared. And so we need to find the total area of the figure. Well, we're going to take our 3 numbers, our 64, our 16, and our 16, and we're going to add those 3 together, and we're going to find we get an answer of 96 inches squared. 96 inches squared. And again, looking at this slide here, the area of a region is the sum of the areas of its non-overlapping parts. Notice we have the figure over here on the left, but now we can break it apart to now find areas that we know. Right? We know how to find the area of a square, so it makes our lives a lot easier here. So that is it. Then your homework is posted on Schoology.